Hey, what's up, y'all? I want to talk about some abs. That's an area that I find a lot of people are having issues with. For abs, I want you to really focus on engagement through the lower abs. What you're going to do is very specific, so listen to what I'm telling you, because when you have issues with your neck getting involved, you have issues with your hip flexors getting involved, what's happening is the lower abs, the abdominals period, are disengaging to some level, and it's you're borrowing muscles. So be very precise on what you're doing and how you're doing it. You have issues, troubled areas that you want to focus on. Let this be like your primary when you don't have a lot of time. All right, what I want to first focus on is I'm going to do a pelvic tilt, push my lower back up against the floor. And what I want to think of is really drawing my obliques, which is the sides of my upper torso, and bring them together, and think of really pushing my lower back against that floor. Now you can even just hold that for a little while to get that engagement. I'm also, if you notice, I'm bringing an upper crunch or upper hold to get the upper abs involved. This is also to give some assistance, all right, to really get some activation going on and through those abs. Next, what you're going to do is bring those legs up. You don't want to release that lower back being pushed against the floor. The stronger you get, the more range of motion you can get. The more fluid and fast or slow movements you're doing will come along. So really focus on just the engagement, keeping those abdominals tight, and get that intensity going. Focus on what you're doing. At any given time, if you're feeling it in your neck, you're trying to find where to release it, just come out of it completely. Re-engage. Pelvic tilt, push the floor, your back against that floor. Go ahead and lift up, imagining you're trying to reach the sound, get your mind involved in that upper ab area. You can even touch it to get that connection, and then lift the legs, and that's going to be a hold. However, wherever you lengthen that, all depends on the strength, right? Because that lower back is not going to leave that floor. So that's going to be your first position. There's a name in Pilates like hundreds. You got your arms moving. That gives your mind something to do. That's what that's for. But there's the hollow hold, there's the boat, there's all kind of things. But mainly, primarily, is really keeping those abs firing the whole time. They're an endurance muscle. So you want them firing. And when it starts, engaging, when you start feeling it, that's when it's working. So don't stop. So put your timer on. Push through, get your mind right, and get it going. So I'm going to give you a couple series, okay? So this one, we just did a hold. I'm sitting here talking to y'all. I'm holding the position, holding that. So then what you're going to do is you're going to lengthen back. Think of the knees bent. I like this one because what I do is I'm just going to show you a lift here. Don't you do that, but I'm pushing my lower back against the floor, and I want to re-engage that each time. So I'm going to lengthen. So that's opening up the abs, okay? I'm going to reach up as if I'm trying to touch the wall. I'm going to lengthen out and bring it back in. And when I do, I'm re-emphasizing, giving a little bit of a lift in my hips. So, now, y'all, that is the floor. I promise you that. That's the floor, I promise. Ah, baby, what you gonna do? Shoot, don't act like y'all don't do it. Okay, now depending on where your range of motion is, you're not going to take the legs out too far, right? So it's all about here. So lengthen those legs out. I want you to think again, re-emphasizing that pelvic tilt, pushing that lower back against the floor, and that's what's bringing the legs up. Cool? All right, so you're going to do a few of those, guys. Now, hold the position. Now what you're going to do is bicycles right into it. So think of opposite knee lining with your shoulder, but you're not bringing the knee in completely. I don't want it disengaging the lower abs. Think of aligning that knee with the hip. It's more of a kick out with a twist. twisting. Really focus on what you're doing. So think of kick out, kick out, kick out. Do not let those knees come in past the hips. Think of just aligning that knee with the hip and still kicking it out, pushing the lower back against the floor, lifting that shoulder off the floor. Cool. All right, so the next one I'm gonna have you do is go ahead, lower legs, lower it down, pushing again the lower back against the floor, wherever that is, and then re-emphasize that and bring it right back in without losing any of the tension the whole time. Pulling it in, okay? Engaging wherever you can take it without losing that position in your lower back. Wherever that is, relaxing the upper body, keeping that tight. Again, as you go out, push that lower back against the floor. As you bring it in, push that lower back against the floor. That's what's bringing those legs up. Nice, slow and controlled. Upper body is loose. Really let them get strong for you, wherever that is. And then when you think you can't no more, switch to the next exercise, which this is called a molinete. There's all kind of names for different exercises, so don't get all tripped out on the name. Knees stay together. You're gonna twist, keep your upper torso locked in, upper abs locked in. Do a nice twist, keeping the knees together, extend them out. Bring them back in. Shift the hip to the other side. Same thing and extend out. Again, I don't want to be all muscling it into my shoulders. And if you need to, just lay down your head and rotate and extend out. Give a little pop up. Extend, pop up, and extend. This one I want you to think about stacking those shoulders right over those wrists. Your knees want to be right underneath the hips. Think of this little pocket right here, okay? What I want you to think about is tucking the hips. Okay, this is going to be crucial. Tuck the hips and really engaging through those lower abs. Go ahead and tuck the toes. I'm pushing my chest away, but where my mind is going is keeping those hips tucked without really lifting too high. So I'm just gonna tuck the hips, hover my knees, and keep thinking of tucking the hips without pushing myself up. Keep tucking the hips, and by tucking the hips, it's gonna take it out of the quads. If you start to feel the quads, think more of tucking in through the hips, tucking in through the hips. Put a timer on for these exercises, okay? But you're leading from one exercise to the next exercise without any breaks. You don't like them abs, you don't like your gut, well, handle that. Push through. Say that's serious right here. You feel it working, you know it's working, right? Ain't no mistake in that. So you're gonna keep it tucked, keep locking it in. Good, breathe in, do your thing, cool. Next thing, you're gonna go ahead and extend that out, okay? And then you're gonna think of bringing, again, tuck the hips, bring the knee in towards that elbow, tuck the hips, opposite elbow. Tuck, tuck, tuck. And when you tuck, what happens is you're eliminating the hip flexor out of the equation. Cool? Other side. Remember, don't stop. Just switch. Tuck, tuck. Cool. And then for a nice little finale, go ahead, tuck those hips, lock in that plank. You can even go down into a forearm plank. Just do not come out of it. Lock it in, breathe, get into it. Lock that in, push your chest away, keep your mind focused where it needs to be. Tell yourself you got this. Don't let your mind wander places ain't got no business. And this is what's up. Cool? All right, y'all. So that's that quick shot abs. I promise you, combine these two together, the quick shot glutes, quick shot abs, that's gonna get the blood flowing. This consistency is what's up. Do these abs every day. I promise you, you're gonna start to see results. It also is a good little fat burner. Burn some of the calories you're consuming. I promise you, makes all the difference in the world. All right, y'all, to the next one. Don't forget, subscribe, like the videos, leave me some comments, let me know what's up. Appreciate it. Mwah. All right, y'all, to the next one.